We have a lot of little parts that I'd like to get put on today. And I'm going to try my best to not get too sidetracked here. And if I do, I'll try and keep it short. Now, the suggestion had been that why not mount these little lights onto this part before I put this part in, that is this part, into place. But I think that if I get the holes drilled out on the base, on the deck, you might say a little bit oversized, not so large that this piece is going to be, running around in there and not be centered, but large enough that I shouldn't have any problem, putting it into place. And so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to is drill these out. Now, I know the thought is going to be, well, Ron, why don't you just use this thing? Well, I've mentioned this before. I've got arthritis in my hands, my fingers, and they just do not manipulate like they used to. And being as that I get along quite well with tools, usually, we're going to just use our electric drill here. And I find doing stuff like that works really well. Now, what's this hair doing in there? Okay. Okay. Oh, I know what happened. When I sucked that little light up here, when I took the vacuum cleaner thing apart yesterday, stuff came out of it. Anyway, you're getting more information here than you need to know, right? All right, let's drill these out and see if we can get them on. Now, when I first got my Dremel tool, I thought, oh, it's going to be great for drilling out holes in plastic and so on. But I soon learned that the 5,000 RPM, which was its slowest speed, was just way too fast. Whereas something like this, which turns nice and slow, works a lot better in plastic. Okay, so what is the deal with me having my tablet here? Well, I think that yesterday I may have possibly hurt some people's feelings, and I didn't mean to. And I didn't really clarify who I was talking to. Maybe some of you picked up on it and some of you didn't. Let's say that you are using your tablet, like this is an iPad mini. I've had it for several years. And it does an amazingly good job at autofocusing, but I'm not going to demonstrate it. What it doesn't do well is getting the video files out of here and into my PC. This is Apple, my PC is PC. Anyway, we don't need to get into that. I said I was going to be short if I went on got a little bit sidetracked, so let's try and keep it short. Okay, so let's say you're the type of person that has your tablet, or maybe it's your smartphone, and you've got it mounted on something overhead like this that's looking down on your work. Now, if you are the sort of person that takes the little piece and picks it up, and at the same time you're putting your hand underneath it, I am not talking to you. You obviously know that your camera is going to focus on a large area and not pinpoint on something really small. I wasn't talking to you. I was talking to the person and it rarely happens, and really it's not anybody I'm watching right now. I'm talking to the person who takes the little piece and picks it up, and it completely blurs out as they get it maybe 5 inches or 10 centimeters or whatever away from the work. Uh, yeah. So if I hurt your feelings yesterday, and you're doing a really good job using a tablet or maybe your smartphone, I apologize. I didn't mean to hurt your feelings. Keep it up. Now, one of these longer, I guess you call them bridges, they're kind of like a bridge, has to go right here. I think that's going to fit. Looks a little bit, oh my, it's not fitting too good. It's almost like like where the peg comes up through the, see, if it goes on there like that. Oh, yeah, it kind of goes. I guess I was getting all worried for nothing. Okay, it's not going to take a whole lot of extra thin there to hold that on. I can see where I've made a little bit of an error here. You notice that the color of the deck doesn't match. So I'm just wondering if maybe I should just paint the top of that, the number 77, the same as this right here. Yeah, I should have done that when this piece was off. It would have been a little easier. Now, mind you, you don't really notice it. Well, maybe I could do it after it's glued in place, and that way, if I get any running out on the deck there, I'll be covering it up. Okay, I think we'll let that dry out, and maybe before I mount the light on here, maybe is when I should paint that deck. I have decided not to paint this deck right here that I'm touching right now the same color as this right here, because there's a chance that I'm going to get the number 77 up against the 22, which the superstructure here, like where the door is, and the ladder, that's 22, and there's enough of a difference that if I get it up against the side there, it's going to show. So I'm just going to leave it. They're quite similar. I don't think anybody's going to notice. So let's see if we can get our little searchlight in place here. Okay, now being as that we drilled out that hole, oversized, this should fit in there pretty easy. Yeah, I think once we get some extra thin in there. Why is that kind of coming back out? You know what? I think there's probably gum on there from the double-sided tape. Yeah, there is. I got to get that off of there. Well, all I really did was just sort of move it around. Now, which way do we want that light pointing? I think it should be aiming out to the side of the ship. Or maybe slightly just ahead. Maybe just the way it is. That's all right. You know, after all, the bow is to your right. So it sort of looks good. Now, this is the one we put on yesterday, and it's still loose. Okay, for step 41 here, some of the stuff we put on a couple of days ago, like this piece, and this, what I believe was wireless transmitter trunk or something. What do they call that? Anyway, that's this thing right here. So that's on. We just put on this one, and the searchlights. Now that we do the same thing on the other side, but to make it easy, I want to swing the ship around. So what's left here on 41 is the ladders at the back here. And they are supposed to go down before the these pieces here. So I guess we may as well move to the back and see what we can do. At least put the ones on that are easy to put on from this side. Now I think if I'm smart, I'm going to put our hoop in right now to protect some of this delicate stuff like that. There we go. This is one of the railings that we are going to see, not only from the front, but also from the back, because we'll be looking in like this. So we want to just check here. I did kind of look. Now it's stuck on there. Trying to turn it over so I can see the other side. That looks pretty good. Okay, let's see if we can turn it around. That looks like I scratched a little bit of the paint off there, doesn't it? Well, I guess I can touch that up later. Maybe I should use Mr. T's poking device here. I won't scratch anything. Oh, that's too far. Now, since I took that shot where I slid the camera over here, a bunch of stuff happened, and a bit of time has passed. So I'm going to have to cut this video short, even though I had said I wanted to put a bunch of pieces on. I almost had it, and then I poked it down. I think that's pretty good. Okay. Let's see if I can just get it down just a little bit. I'd like to have that top tread. Maybe the top tread should actually be down a little bit, and the very top of the stringer should be up against this. So I'll see if I can move it down just a smidgen here. I'll just sort of roll it in against the back of the ladder very carefully. Very careful. There. I think that's almost perfect. And now what we do is put just a little bit of CA where the stringer touches the deck. And then if the bottom isn't quite right, like if I have to move the bottom this way or that way, I can do that after. But you know what, folks, we're going to have to do that tomorrow. So thanks for watching, and all being well, we will see you tomorrow.